the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine, from the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And I don't normally do a show like this, so I'm just going to do one for a change. Premier League predictions live. So, do join in with the chat as well when we go through each game and predict your score at the weekend's games. And sure to be an exciting weekend for a lot of teams. Although some teams, some supporters might want to drown their sorrows on Saturday night, but we will get into that. And but I'm delighted to see I'm joined tonight by Pete and by Roly. How are you guys?
Very well, Tony.
Lovely. Yeah, it was nice and sunny today, and then about 3 o'clock the heavens opened and it rained for a bit, and then tonight it absolutely tipped it down, and we've had thunder and lightning as well. So I just wish this rain would go away. I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it now.
You're living in the wrong part of the country, Tony. Up here in Merseyside, it's been lovely sunshine all day. No, it looks like it's going to rain later, but it's been lovely. Nice and warm too.
Yeah, I've sent it up your way, Roly. That's why. So I'm sick of you keep saying it's nice and sunny there.
Mm-hmm.
So
how's it where you are, Pete?
How's the weather where you are, Pete? He says.
We had quite a bit of rain the day, and it's stopped now. But yeah.
Excellent. So, guys, if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It does help the channel in the search results. So smash those likes so people can find the channel easily. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then be sure to smash that subscribe and come and join the community. And also hit that bell notification. That will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So I'm on 542 subscribers so far. So 8 away now from 550. So if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so. Also, there's a link in the chat. If you'd like to make a donation, click the link and follow the instructions. Right, I'm going to dive into some comments first before we pull up the first game, because got a lot of comments come flying in here. And Trolls is in. Hi, Tony and Roly. Hi, Trolls. Hope you're well. He says, hi, all. Hi, Tony, Roly. Chat says, Beer. Good evening, Beer. Hope you're well, mate. Last night, Pete, Beer come out with a comment last night saying he had been on a series of Banged Up Abroad. I thought, oh, bloody great, that, isn't it? Hope he wasn't too naughty. Evening, says Mason. Good evening, Mason. Hope you're well.
Mason.
Craig says, evening all. I hope you're all well. I'm fine, thank you very much. And the other guys are fine as well. Very good evening, Tony, says Paul Gallant. Good evening to you, Paul. I hope you're well, mate.
Oh.
Brian says, big up, all. Big up to you, Brian. Gareth says, good evening, Tony, Roly and Pete. Good evening, Gareth. Hope you're well, mate. Jack, good evening, all. Hope all is well. Wasn't expecting a short night. So glad to see it advertised on Twitter. No problem. I did say I wasn't sure if I was going to do one, and I thought, you know what? No, I've got to do one. Ian says, evening, Tony, Pete and Roly. Good evening, Ian. I hope you're well, mate. Big game on Saturday, Ian, isn't it? Rangers Celtic. Yeah. Same time as us, kick off on the Saturday, isn't it? So yeah, that's a big game. That. BS says, "Hi Pete, is it true that PD stands for psychic detective?"
Oh, Jesus.
It started already, Pete. It started already, mate. Kate says, "Hi Tony, Roly, and Peter. How's it all going from Kate and Jonathan? Black and White Army. Absolutely fine, Kate and Jonathan. Very well, thank you very much. And yeah, great to have you on the show. And Coffee's in the house. Hi Tony, PD, Roly, and all. And I expect when we start doing these predictions, I think Coffee's going to come out with some wild predictions. So let's be ready for YouTube to just go bang and explode with Coffee's predictions, because his predictions are brilliant.
But when you look at what happened last week, particularly on Monday, Coffee's predictions don't seem quite so wild anymore.
No. Wayne says, "Evening lads and all. Good evening to you, Wayne. Hope you're well." And Coffee says, "Pete, psychic detective, did I miss something?" Well, yeah, I mean, gosh, yeah. I mean, there is some news being coming out. I mean, I did sort of report this on one of my morning podcasts last week about Arda Güler, who plays in Turkey. He's only 18 years of age. He plays in midfield, attacking midfielder. A delegation from Newcastle have been in Dubai talking to his representatives over getting him to the club. I mean, hell of a move if he comes over. And he's not just one for the future, he's a one for now, because he actually does play. So, not a bad, not a bad youngster to have in the team and gain. And because he's under 21, you don't have to pay. You don't have to have a Premier League squad place for him, because he's under 21. So I mean, it's not a bad not bad at all. I mean, I'll give you a quick run through of his stats. Obviously, he plays for Fenerbahce. As I say, he's 18 years of age. His contract runs out in 2025, but they reckon it's not expensive to get him. His player value is 10.6 million on SofaScore. This season he started 8 games out of 17, and he's got 4 goals and 1 assist. His accurate crosses are 39% per game for an 18-year-old. That's not bad at all. He's not committed any errors that's led to a shot or a goal. He's not committed any penalties. And he's only got 1 yellow card all season. So he's quite a well-behaved character on the football pitch as well. So his disciplinary record is pretty good. They don't give his real position, but looking at his heat map, he does play predominantly more right, but he does play central midfield, and he is pronounced to go on the left, but not very often. He's more right-sided, although he prefers his left foot. So how does that one sound to you, Pete?
Doesn't sound too bad, does it? Really, really doesn't. 10 million as well?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. I don't think it sounds too bad at all.
And one of the things I think that's quite interesting is that the number of players that are in that 18 to 20 bracket we've been linked with that are potentially here for the now, because it gives us flexibility in our 25-man squad. Because if we can't shift some of the players, the Haydens, the Hendricks and the like, you can still have them in the squad to make up the 25. We can still play these youngsters because they shouldn't see the pitch. The people we can't get rid of. So it's actually quite smart trying to get a few people that can actually contribute but don't have to be included in the 25-man squad. I mean, we had that luxury of Elliot Anderson. I think he's got one more season where he doesn't qualify for the 25-man squad. So it's actually smart in the way they're doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we done a transfer show last night, Pete, and I'll just quickly go on to this player. I mean, I don't know if you've heard much about him, Pete. You might not have. You may have heard his name in the. His name looks really awkward to pronounce as well, but I've got it down to a T, so I've got his name to a fine art. So if Match of the Day are looking for a commentator, if he signs for us next season, then they can call on me because I'll get up there and I'll teach them how to say his name properly. So there he is, there, Pete, and that is Dominic Szoboszlai. So Dominic Szoboszlai, and he is a Hungarian. He plays midfield, centre, and attacking midfield. He's 22-year-old Pete. His value is rated around 36 million. He's long balls, playmaking, and consistency are his strengths. He has no outstanding weaknesses. He started 26 out of 28 games. He's been Team of the Week 6 times this season. He's got 4 goals. So his XG is 3.81 per game. All 4 goals have come with his right foot. He's got 8 assists. His passing per game is 83%, but his crosses, Pete, are more appealing. 41% accurate crosses per game. 41%. He's committed 1 penalty, but had no shots that's led to a goal or a shot, so no errors that way. And he's got 2 yellow cards. One where he's had 2 yellows, 2 red, and 2 red cards this season. So disciplinary, not massively brilliant, but again, do you know what? I mean, what a baller. He plays for RB Leipzig at the moment. I mean, what do you reckon on them stats, Pete? Would you take him? Because I'm pretty sure I would.
Those stats, that sounds very impressive. Like, don't they? Passing accuracy, cross a ball as well, which sounds really, really promising as well. So he sounds like a player that would tick the boxes. Definitely. I mean,
disciplinary records is a concern, though.
Yeah, but Eddie Howe would get that out of him. He's only 22. He's going to improve, isn't he? But you know, it's the crosses per game, 41%.
Well,
that's
yeah,
impressive.
absolutely. That's good. Yes, absolutely. We could do someone who can help out as well. Maybe. Well, does he do set pieces as well, or is it just crossing?
I think he does as well. Yeah, I think he does set pieces as well.
If
so
that's good. That would be great as well, because I think Trippier we need to rotate and get someone else to do it as well, and not just Trippier all the time.
Yeah, it's too much ask on Trippier, isn't it? So yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm just going to jump into some comments, and then we're going to get on to the first game. So, Coffee says, anything I got right about the Arsenal predictions that Arsenal go 2-0 up. Paul says, my prediction is 6-0 for Saturday. Let's just smash them. I think your confidence. I'm late again. I need to ring the bell, says Jake. Yes, you do, Jake. I hope you need to click that bell notification. Jack says, isn't Barca after him, Tony? There is, but again, do you know what it is? We could have the upper hand. It depends. It all depends. But you know, we wait and see. It again, it's just rumours that we've been to Dubai and talking about it, so we'll see what happens. Ian says, you've ruined my week, Tony. I didn't realise both games were on at the same time. Well, there you go, Ian. Easy choice to make. Leeds versus Newcastle, mate. Ian says it's a dead rubber anyway, so Celtic have already won the league, absolutely. Ian says, I heard Madison was talking to Callum Wilson and he says he wants to come to the tune. Let's hope that's true. I think, do you know what? I think Kieran Trippier has done a lot of talking up in the England camp as well to say, you know.
He looks depressed at Leicester City now, doesn't he?
Yeah, Leicester's spent, aren't they? They're spent force, aren't they?
I mean, to go and get 5 goals past you against Fulham of all teams.
Well, Fulham are a good team, but the way they defended was Keystone Cops. I mean, Titus Bramble would have looked a good defender in amongst that lot.
Even Boomsong.
Oh, good grief.
Sefton says, evening, Tony, Roly and Pete. Overslept, bounce back ability, lads. Evening, Sefton. He says, evening to the chat. Lee says, evening, Tony, Pete and Roly. How are you keeping, lads and everyone? Yeah, we're absolutely fine. Thank you very much, Lee. And people are talking to Sefton. Lee says 3-0 against Leeds for us. And Coffee says, Trippier had gone to speak to Lavia too after the Southampton game. It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me with that. Okay, so we're going to get on to the first game of the weekend, and surprisingly, first game of the weekend happens to be Leeds United versus Newcastle United. Right, Pete. What's your thoughts on this game and your prediction?
I think we can bounce back. I think anyhow we'll look at the game from the Arsenal game and you'll look, right, what did we not do that we can do against Leeds away? I mean, Leeds, I think they're in trouble. They're in absolute trouble at the moment. I know it was just 2-1 against City, but I thought City had loads of chances but were very wasteful with them. So it could have been more. I think we will beat Leeds. If Longstaff's back, he goes back in for me.
Yeah.
If not, this is an interesting one. I would switch Joe Linton as either a left centre midfielder. I don't think the right centre midfield works for him.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't play Wilson and Isak this tight together. Either I'd put ASM on the left. I thought he did well when he come on against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I thought. So I think we just need a bit of rotation within the side. Not Wilson, because Arsenal really snuffed us out in that game. So I think we need to start just one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm praying that Longstaff's back fit. The good news is it's not a broken foot that he suffered with, which is good.
That's great news.
It is. That is great news. But I think we could win this quite comfortably. I can see at least a 3-0 or 3-1. I can't see why not. Leeds concede goals for me. They concede loads of goals.
What to do?
And it's Big Sam of all managers as well. I don't think that they rotated the keeper, but I don't think he's that good as well. I mean, the two shots that Gundogan shot, he just stood there as if he's seen a ghost.
Robles, yeah.
I can see us beat Leeds. I think Eddie will look at that and you're thinking, we're going to get this right for Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. And what's your score prediction, Pete?
It's told between 3-0 or 3-1.
It's hard, isn't it?
I'm going to say 3-1.
3-1. Okay, so Pete's going 3-1. Roly, your thoughts and score prediction for this game ahead on Saturday?
That's going to be an interesting one. Sean Longstaff is probably going to be a late decision on whether he can play or not. It'll depend on whether he's able to train this week.
Yeah.
If he's able to play, he goes straight in. If not, there are a number of options. You can pull Joe Linton into midfield like he did for the last game, and maybe start with ASM. I wouldn't start with Wilson and Isak. I'd start with Isak because I like the idea of changing them at in the second half, or having them both play in the second half, so that gives the centre halves can get used to one style of play and then have to adapt to a totally different style of play later in the game when they're tired. If Longstaff doesn't start, you could move Joe Linton into midfield, but I'd be tempted to have Joe Linton playing on the left on the front three.
You could,
maybe giving Elliot Anderson a go in midfield. See if he's a young lad. Maybe he's got the legs to cover the Longstaff role.
Or maybe play Willock there. I don't think Joe Linton suits that side.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I like when Joe Linton's playing there is the way that he swaps with Willock. So they switch, and one will go wide and the other will come in, and then they'll switch, which gives the opposition so many different problems. I do think that that Isak should start. Wilson should be on the bench. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Leeds have to have a go, because at this point in the season, they're 2 points away from safety with only 3 games left. They need to get a win from somewhere, because three draws is probably not going to be good enough for them. So they're going to have to get a win. And the longer they go without getting the win, the harder it is to get it.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to try and fly out the traps and get a lead. If they do get a lead, they'll try and park the bus. I mean, Man City is a game that they expected to lose, did lose, and they thought, we'll protect our goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to try and win this one because they're at home.
Yeah.
If we take a quick lead, they'll crumble, like Spurs did, like Everton did when we started playing in the second half.
And what's your prediction, Roly? Sorry.
I'm going to go the same as Pete. I'm going to go 3-1.
3-1. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the way the results have been going in the last weekend, it could be anything. But I think that if we hold them at bay for the first half hour, like we did Everton, take the lead, and then it'll be comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, Bia says 2-1. Isak in the SM goal. Big Sam will part the bus and play dirty. Yeah.
But the other thing about the Leeds defence is that you can't make a bad defence into a good one in 1 week or 2 weeks. It takes time. So Big Sam, as they call him, hasn't got the time to sort them out properly. They may be able to do it for 40 minutes in a game, 30 minutes, and be tight, and then they'll concede a goal and they can be tight again, but they're not good enough to sustain it for a 90-minute period. They're going to give chances. And if we're back to our lethal best, we could get a hatful. Yeah. Or it could be very tight. As things stand now, I'd be happy with a 1-0 win.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned, all I want to do is to get to that Champions League. I don't care how we get there.
No.
The scrappy 1-0 with an own goal will do me. Then it means
Ian says
4 more points from 3.
Yeah, Ian says, don't think it'll be easy, but going to go 2-1 the Toon. Gareth says, tough for 2-1 away win for the Mags. Well, we only won 1-0 down there last year through Shelby's 3 kick. Wayne says, I think we'll bounce back. And as well, PD, I'm going to say 3-0 Isak, Big Joe and Murphy. Not a bad shout, Wayne. Coffee says, Leeds have not failed to score in their last 10 games. I predict 3-1 Newcastle. Yeah, it's about time we had a clean sheet.
They haven't scored in the last 2 games we've played them.
No.
0-0 at St James's Park, and last season we won 1-0 down there.
Yep, Shelby. Craig says, spoken to by someone who didn't watch City Leeds. KLW says, even an old hippo head will have their wound up for the Toon. That will get us back on 4-1 the Toon, says KLW. That's not bad, show. That's a bit of a brave score, but you know, Lee says, when we get beaten, we always bounce back from that with a high score result. Well, yeah, you're absolutely right, Lee. We do. Look what we did against Spurs, Man United.
Yeah.
I would rest Longstaff for the Brighton game, says Coffee. Yeah, if he's back. I mean, I can't see him starting to start the. Craig says they'll park the box, and try and stifle us. Everything we do, it won't be a cakewalk past them. City struggled. Now they're at home, and Sam's had an extra week and a good point, and a point's us good for them. Yeah, absolutely. Thing is, so I mean, the amount of chances Man City burned up the wall was ridiculous. They should have scored a half. Well, Lee says, as Leeds sent any drones flying around the training ground. I doubt it. Craig says there's more chance of wins in their 2 games after us. This isn't a must-win for them, but it's a must-not lose. Well, yeah, they've got West Ham away, and then they've got Spurs at home. They won't be easy games.
They're not easy games. So, I mean, the problem, my point about them trying to get the win now is because if they don't win now against us, that means if Forest win and Everton win, they've got to win their last 2 games, and that might not be enough. So they need to get the win to stay in touch in case if they win against us and Everton lose, they're out of the bottom 3.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So it's when you're coming into the last couple of games, you don't want to be in the bottom 3. You want someone else there to have the pressure. So I really think it is a must-win game for them, because if they don't beat us, which I don't think they will, they've got to go down to West Ham. They're playing really well, and they've got to try and win there. And if they don't win there, they could be down before they play the final game.
Yeah,
it is. I think it is a must-win just to stay in touch.
Yeah, says Roly's forgetting Big Sam's as good as Pep and Arteta. Just going to rattle through these comments before I get my prediction. Rich says, evening to you, Rich. Everton fan. I mean, massive win against Brighton. I bet you didn't even see that coming yourself, because I certainly didn't see that coming, that's for sure. Yabba Dabba Do One says, hey, hi mate, hope you're well. Andrew's in the chat, Arit. Yeah, we are, Andrew. Hope you're Arit too, mate. Good lad. He says, yeah, fantastic win at Brighton. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Great win, that. Craig says, easier than us. Yeah, I mean, we drew 0-0 down there. Foxy says, here, and Bielsa might be back at Leeds next season. Delaying taking the Uruguayan national team job. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Got a point. City 1-1, he says. Yeah. Jake says it's a must-win. Yeah.
City could rotate, particularly with their game against Madrid.
That's the thing, isn't it? But what they're going to prioritise, so.
Well, that's it.
But they've got the squad to be able to rotate.
Yeah.
Well, they do.
It's a must-win for us as well, says Jake. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Craig says, West Ham will rest players for the Cup. Spuds season's over. They're on the beach. And not so necessarily with the Spuds, because the thing is, Ryan Mason wants that job at Spurs. And the way he's got them playing, yes, they probably should have got a draw at Liverpool. They did well to come back. And they got a hard-fought win over Palace. But if he's wanting that job, he'll be wanting them players to play well until the season's finished. And he'll want to keep Tottenham in the top 7, because the thing is, they could drop out of that top 7. So technically, I wouldn't say Spurs season's over yet, because, Brighton could win their games, and, Aston Villa could win their games, and that could knock Tottenham out the top 7. So their season is definitely not over. They have to fight for every win they can get now till the end of the season, Spurs, to make sure they have a European place, because that's not guaranteed at the moment.
I was about to make the same comment, Tony.
Yeah, but says, cartel for the bigger teams, it's corruption, daylight robbery, absolutely, mate. Sefton says, I think it'll be a draw, City in Everton. Can't wait for Saturday, Andrew, says Andrew. 7-0 this week.
When
I keep saying that every week.
Yeah, say, when hasn't it been 7-0?
I predicted Everton would get something at Brighton, says Sefton.
You didn't predict they'd get 5 goals, though.
No. Yabba says, I think there's been a mess up with the Premier League table. Yeah, definitely. Right. So Leeds versus Newcastle. Okay, so I did say this morning on my video, if anybody saw that, I think Leeds have to come out and play this game, because it's no good for Leeds to sit back, defend, and try and get a point. A point's no good for them at this stage of the season. They need wins. They need 3 points. So how else are they going to get out the relegation zone? Because you look at West Ham away, that is going to be tough. West Ham are playing so well at the moment. Since we hammered them 5-1, they have turned the corner and they are playing some good football at the moment. Declan Rice is on fire. Leeds are going to find it very hard down at the London Stadium. Then they've got Spurs at home. That isn't going to be easy, especially if Spurs need that win to make sure they've got European football. Or they might want to have Europa football. They might not want the conference football. They might want the Europa football. So they'll be fighting to get up in there. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're going to come out the traps. They're going to have to. They're going to have to come out and play. And that will fall into our trap if they come out and play. Because when they come out and play, they'll be leaving gaps. And if we exploit them gaps correctly, Leeds will be in trouble. And they could be in serious trouble. The game could be done and dusted by half time. I mean, I'm going to say 3-0 Newcastle. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet for a change. And push Pope clear. He's 2 clean sheets away from levelling with David De Gea. So he needs 3 clean sheets to get above him. He's got the games to do that. So let's hope he can. But yeah, I think all in all, I think we'll beat Leeds, and I think we'll beat them comfortably. I'm going to say 3-0 at least, but it could be more than that. Who knows?
I'd just like to have a caveat on my score and my predictions for the rest of the game. That's providing we turn up.
I think we will, yeah.
Yeah, I think we will, but we've got... I said along, for any team in this league, if you don't turn up, you'll get beat. Don't matter who you are.
The thing is... You look at Everton, right? They took the game to us in that first half. They were great that first half. We got the goal. They got a goal towards the end, which was ruled out. The end of the first half, Calvert-Lewin, he was just offside. Second half, Everton came out again. But once we got them goals, I mean, yes, they got that consolation at 3-1 when they scored from the corner, and then we went on and scored the fourth. But I think Everton's energy was done by 60 minutes because they couldn't keep up with us. And we just ran riot. And Leeds will be the same. There's no way their players are going to be able to keep up with us for 95 minutes with that energy. Not a chance. So, Sefton's, Andrew says, yeah, it was close versus Spurs. Bounce back ability for one, how are the lads? Rich says, don't think Leeds will get any points. I don't think they will either, Rich. I think they've gone. I think bringing Sam Allardyce in is just a stupid move. And obviously, he's going to sit there and think he's got money. And, I can't stand the bloke, not just because he used to be a manager of Sunderland or he used to play for Sunderland or because he managed us. It's the way when he left us, the way the man is. I mean, he's just so smarmy. I mean, when he got his payoff, he went, off our former owner. He went and bought a villa in Spain and called it Casa St. James's. And I despise the man. Who does he think he is to go out there and call his villa Casa St. James's, taking the piss out of us fans, out of our great club? I just can't stand the man for that. So, it's about time he changed the bloody name from Casa St. James's because you're not fit to have our name on your villa. Yabba says 4-0 Newcastle, Botman, Byrne, Anderson, Isak. Not a bad shout. Wayne says Leeds can't afford to park the bus. That should be good for us, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hope Far's not against us, says Lee. Let's hope not. Let's hope we can just do it without the VAR. And while we're talking about VAR and things like that, the referee for Saturday is this guy, Simon Hooper. So he is the man in the middle, the one who looks like he's had a few too many pies. But yeah. He's been to the burger van a few times, but yeah, that is the man in the middle, Simon Hooper. How he gets on the field, I do not know. He's assisted by Adrian Holmes and Mark Scholes, and the fourth official is Graham Scott. VAR is Neil Swarbrick. So he is the VAR referee, and his assistant will be Simon Bennett. So that is the officials for Saturday. Okay, so I'm just going to delve into these comments, and then Gareth says, Allardyce reminds me of Bully from Old Bullseye programme. He does, doesn't he? He does. Yabba says, Botman will score one day. He's sure to, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do Leeds fans still take inflatable sheep to Leeds, says Andrew. I don't know, Andrew. I don't think so.
Not in anything.
It's a horrible ground. It's a horrible ground, though.
What, Ellen Road?
It's an old ground. So... Right, so we go to the next game. So the next game is Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. kickoff, and it's the first of them. and it's Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, Roly, I'll let you kick this one off.
Oh, that's
Your thoughts on
juicy
this and
little tie.
prediction?
That's a juicy
Two
little
teams
tie.
battling for Europe.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a little bit of a slump, but they're still a very good team, as they proved when they beat us. On song, Ollie Watkins is dangerous. He's been in a bit of a purple patch. They're a very useful side. Tottenham are very hot and cold. They can be got at easily if you go at them quickly. Like we did. We set the blueprint, score early, and you can get 2 or 3 really quick. I think Villa are capable of doing that. I'm not saying they will, but they're a very capable team. Spurs defense. Spurs have always got. They've got a puncher's chance because they've got Son and Kane up front. So they've got a chance in any game because of those two. But their defense is really suspect. I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll be a close game. I think that Aston Villa will win 2-0.
2-0. Oh, okay. And before I get to Pete, I'll just dip into some of these comments. So people are putting comments in. Jimmy Savile, your boys will take one hell of a beating, says Jake. God. Coffee says Villa 2-0. Rich says 2-0 Villa. Wayne says he's going 2-1 Villa. Some interesting scores, yeah. Bia says Tyrone Mings says Harry Maguire and Eric Dyer's love child 1-1 draw. And Yava says 3-3 Spurs and Villa. That's not a bad result, is it? Mason says Villa watch will be a meltdown if they get beat. Yeah. Spuds will beat Villa, says Sefton. Ian's going for a 1-1. Right, Pete, your thoughts on the Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur game?
I think Villa will win this one. That is because I think Spurs are woeful away from home. I mean, they're still not good on the road away from home, Spurs there. That's the thing. So I think Villa will I think they'll look at that game against Wolves and they'll probably do the same. Look, what didn't go right in that game that they can look to get right at home, because I think they have been very good at home. Aston Villa, particularly under Emery. So, and just with his Spurs' poor record away from home, that's why I see Villa winning this one. So I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-1 win to Aston Villa.
Oh, okay then, Pete. Ian says 1-1. Paul Gardner says 1-1. And KLW says 2-1 Villa. So, yeah, a lot of people are going for a Villa win in this game. And, I mean, yeah, it's one of those strange games. But I say, again, it's one of these where you've got, the points are important this part of the season.
Yep.
I'm actually going for a draw in this game. I'm actually going to say 2-2.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going for a 2-2 draw in this game. And that's the way I see it, 2-2. Lee says a Villa win. Coffee says diabolical with an own goal. Andrew says 1-0 Kane. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, so I'm going 2-2 on that game. Yeah, that's it's either a brave score or but yeah, that's what I'm going for. I mean, the Premier League table, I mean, Villa on 54 points, Tottenham's on 57. I mean, a Villa win pushes them above Brighton. But this is what I'm saying. If Villa beat Tottenham against Leeds would be massive, because Tottenham would have something to play for because they don't want to drop out of that top 7. So, yeah, can see that happening. Yabba says, Pete, remember, we get Champions League and I will donate £100.
Oh, cheers, Yabba.
And Troll says, It said Liverpool will try and buy Bruno for £88 million. Yes, we saw that tweet. Absolutely stupid. But the stupid thing was they called us Newcastle City. We are not Newcastle City. We never have been Newcastle City. Yes, Newcastle is a city, but we are Newcastle United. So whoever the pillock is that put that tweet out there really needs to give their head a shake or a wobble. Because
I like the number of laughing emojis that Trolls has put under.
Yeah, but obviously, they have not looked into our club name properly. Enough said. And Trolls, a lot of Trolls says, yeah. So I'm going to say, like I say, 2-2 for that one. Coffee says they can buy a shirt at the NUSD store for 88 million. Yeah, because they can have fun 88 then, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the next game, which is a 3 p.m. kickoff, and I want to come to you first, Pete, on this game. This is a massive game. This one is. So there it goes. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest.
This is an interesting one. It could well be. I mean, Chelsea, of course, did come back off the win as well, but also Forest did as well. So even though they did concede 3 goals, wow, this is an interesting one. I mean, see, Forest are going to be looking for the points to stay up because they are out the bottom 3. So Chelsea, it all depends. Can they now go on a bit of a run now after the win? So it's all about consistency there. They are safe, which is so. Wow, this is a really hard one. This could be a draw. I think this could be a draw, actually.
So what's your prediction then, Pete?
I'm going to say 1 apiece for this game.
1 apiece. Yeah.
I think because Forest will want to get the points.
Yeah.
But also Chelsea will want to probably go on a bit of a run now since getting that win as well. So that's why I think this game could be a point. Forest get a point. I think they will be safe.
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. And before I come to Roly, Andrew says mammoth tusks can fuck me off from our Bruno.
Yep, absolutely.
Mammoth tusks. Paul says 2-1 Chelsea. Bruno will be staying for years, says Lee. Absolutely. I mean, it's reported he's close to agreeing the deal, but again, until it's official from the club, we just wait for their announcement. Coffee says 3-0 Forest.
Ooh.
Yabba says, Pete, do you remember me saying that when I donated 30 for the Man U 2-0 win?
Yes, I remember that, and you did. Thank you very much again, Yabba, for that.
Sefton says, Forest away win 2-1. Bias says, Forest to win 3-1, ending Lampard's longest winning run. Forest 1, Chelsea 1, says Yabba. He's going with you, Pete 1-all. I'm going for Forest tight 1-0. Ian says 2-2.
Okay.
Sefton says Lampard's exit game. He won't be sacked until the end. He's not going to the end of the season. Troll says Chelsea wants to feel like they tried to get to Europe. Andrew says Chelsea to win 3-0 in his opinion. Cracking game, 3-1 Chelsea, says KLW. Okay, Roly, your thoughts on Chelsea, Nottingham Forest?
My thoughts changed after the game, the games at the weekend. Because I watched the Bournemouth-Chelsea game, and Bournemouth were the better side. Chelsea took the lead, Bournemouth equalised. Bournemouth should have had a penalty. Then Chelsea made a lot of changes once they got ahead again. They did actually start to play some. Yeah. Whereas Forest were, well, they were all over Southampton, but they can't defend. And that's my worry in this game. It could be quite high scoring. I think Forest will have a real go at them because that's the only way they can play. It's no use them sitting back, parking the bus because it's like they can't parallel park. They just can't do it. So they're going to go at Chelsea. I think it'll be high scoring. I think both sides will score. It's a toss-up, really. But I'm going to go Chelsea 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
Mm.
I
Interesting.
hope I'm
Before
wrong.
I get to
I want Forest to stay up, so I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm. Before I get to myself, I'll go through some comments. Rich Everton fan says 2-0 Chelsea. It's not bad. Forest to win a penalty, says Lee. Yaba says Forest will be on top and VAR will get Chelsea the point in the 90th plus minute. Yeah, you know, mate, you know. Troll says Chelsea to lose, common people, Lampard's in charge. Yaba says the only Chelsea in Europe is my sister. And laughing at Lampard, so you know. Yeah, absolutely, Trolls, absolutely, mate. I mean, okay, so this game, I mean, Forest against Southampton the other night, that was a huge 6-pointer. Southampton had to win it to try and keep up and try and stay in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest had to win it because 1, they were at home, and 2, they had to get out of that relegation zone. And they knew if they didn't win that game, they're more odds on going down. Now, because of the way they played the other night, I thought they were absolutely terrific. Forest, I watched the whole game. A 1-year looks a right threat in front of goal. You know, he took his two goals superbly, especially the second one. Gibbs White, we know the threat he's got. I mean, he looks a cracking player. In fact, I would have him at Newcastle in all honesty, Pete. I mean, he is quite a good player. And
he is, isn't he?
I know a lot of people raised their eyebrows when they signed him for 41 million, but you look at it and you think, do you know what? It's not a bad price, that, you know. Brennan Johnson's another good player I would love at the turn.
I'd have him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, it was a draw at the City Ground earlier on the season, 1-1. Chelsea are a bit nervy at the moment, though. They're not just not there. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on with Chelsea. I don't know. Do the players just not want to play for this club, or are they just going through the games because they know they're getting their big paychecks at the end of the week? So, this is a tough one. Do you know what I'm going to say? Forest sneak this 2-1. They're going to score last minute winner. Forest will win it 2-1, and that will definitely keep them up. I think they're even safe now on 33 points, if I'm in all honesty. But yeah, I think Forest will sneak this one 2-1. And yeah, Joel says, let's send 11 tickets to Chelsea for 11 of our away European matches. Yeah.
Chelsea, there's a lot of turmoil in the dressing room there. Players that have signed all these long contracts are beginning to get buyer's remorse. It's I mean, they were lucky against Bournemouth because they should have had a penalty.
Yeah.
For a challenge on Solanke. Watched Ref Watch the other day, and Dermot Callison said that both their feet went to the ground. Right, he didn't get the ball, but it was like the feet going to the ground. But you could clearly see that with Thiago's challenge, that Solanke's toes move upwards because he's caught him. He's moved his foot upwards, so it's not they're both going to the ground.
Yeah,
he's caught him, and they should have had a penalty. And it's 1-1 at the time. They get that penalty and score. Bournemouth win that game. I think Chelsea are one of these fragile teams that when they go behind, they can fall apart. But
yeah,
if they get back into the game and take the lead, they then start to play a bit.
It's a game I'm going to watch on Saturday afternoon after our game because I think that'll be a terrific game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be all out attack by Forest. I don't think they're going to go anywhere else. It'd be an interesting one.
Bia says I used to live by Gibbs White when he played for Wolves. Never cleaned up his dog when it did a shit on a walk. That's not nice, is it? Really, should pick it up after himself. Yaba says Chelsea performance is down to the ownership of the American screw job. Yeah, absolutely. He hasn't got a clue. Todd Bowley, has he? I mean, he's just absolutely horrendous, isn't he?
The first thing
Right.
when he went to Chelsea, he got rid of all the football people from the club. No wonder
Yes.
So I couldn't do it all.
Okay, Roly, I'm going to kick this one off for you. So the next game on the list, 3 p.m. kickoff, is Crystal Palace versus EFC Bournemouth.
Oh, that's an interesting one, that. Both are safe. Both can't get into Europe. So it could be one of those we're on the beach games. It'd be an interesting game. I think there's not much to choose between the two sides. Palace basically did all the work for the few games after Hodgson took over to get themselves safe, because at one point in the season they were dropping like a stone. I think it's going to be a pretty placid 1-1 draw. Nothing.
Okay, Roly.
exciting.
Yeah,
Nothing too
interesting.
exciting. Pretty even sides. They both got some good players. I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Oh, okay, Roly. Before I get to Pete, Wayne says, hasn't worked out for Chelsea. All the money they have spent, dumb twats. Well said, Wayne. Well said, mate. 2-1 Palace, says Paul Gardner. Palace to win 3-0, says Sefton Mag. Okay, Russ. Coffee says 2-1 Palace. Bia says Palace 1, Bournemouth 2. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Bournemouth are playing well. 2-1 to Bournemouth, says Wayne. Yeah. And Yaba says 4-2 to Bournemouth, to Palace against Bournemouth. So that's not a bad shout. Pete, your thoughts on the Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth?
Both teams are safe now, so got nothing to play for. But it's going to be an interesting game. I think Palace are very good at home. Rice just telling them to play with freedom now. He's playing their players in the right position now, and he's been grinding results for them. So I can see this being a Palace win for me, because I think Selhurst Park's a tough place to go to as well.
Yeah.
And the teams that they've put away as well. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 at Crystal Palace.
2-1 Palace. Ian's going with that score as well. 2-1 Palace. He's thinking the same as you there, Pete. Andrew says 2-2. Lee says Bournemouth win. Okay, so, yeah, it will be a tough game, but I think Bournemouth have done really well this season. Considering after the 9-0 drubbing against Liverpool, everybody feared for Bournemouth and said, oh, that's the end of the road for them now. They're going, this is going to be a struggle. Gary O'Neill came in, steadied the ship, and then during the World Cup, once the takeover was announced, he then got the manager's job on a permanent basis. And then I know the Bournemouth fans were a bit like, before our game, like, oh, you know, they were sort of like getting a bit rocky about Gary O'Neill and wanting him out. But you know what? To be fair to Bournemouth, they've kept him, and you know they were in the bottom three for a little while, but they got out of it, and you know they're now safe. So I think he's done a tremendous job there. That Vinia, who they've got on loan, I think from Roma, he looks some player. And the way Bournemouth are playing, I mean, yes, they would have beat Chelsea if they stuck their chances away, and that's what even Gary O'Neill said after the game. If we'd only put our chances away, we would have beat Chelsea. So I'm going to say I'm going on a Bournemouth win here, and I'm going to say 2-0 Bournemouth.
That's interesting.
I think Neto will have a blinder of a game and goal. Another decent scoring game, 2-2, says KLW. Yeah, not a bad shout. Right, Pete, we'll return to you with the next game, so you can kickstart this one off. And so it is Manchester United versus Wolves. Sinclair's Reds.
Oh, wow, this is an interesting one. Man U still going for the top four, but it looks like they're starting to fall away a little bit by the looks of it. So, Wolves are safe now, so they've got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
This is a hard one. I mean, I think Man U are do well. I think Man U are good at home. They do well at home. I know they've been a little bit iffy away from home at times, but I think considering they're at home, I think they'll just sneak this 2-1.
You think 2-1, Pete? Okay, before I come to Roly. Manx to win 2-1, says 2-0, says Sefton. Yaba says Manicures 0, Wolves 0. Andrew says Man U have to lose 4-0. Lee says Wolves to win as well. Roly, your thoughts on this game and score prediction, please.
Well, Wolves are safe. They've got a drubbing not so long ago. Was it
Brighton.
6-0? I think that it'll be a tough game. I think Man United will want to bounce back from the defeat at the London Stadium. They're difficult to beat at home as well. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go for 2-0 to Man United.
2-0?
I prefer it to be 2-0 to Wolves, but I think it'd be 2-0 to Man United.
Yeah. Ian says 2-0 Man U, though I hope I'm wrong and Wolves win. Rich says 2-1 Wolves. Yeah. Wolves to win 2-1 as well, says Bia. Ian says Man U Wolves 1-1. Coffee says 0-0. And Mason says, where's John Sinclair? Bia says, I think Man U are much higher than they should be. Ten Hag is a fraud. Yeah, 10 stag. Yeah, I mean, look, this game, I think it's going to be a difficult game for Man U. I think Wolves have played well. Yes, they got that hammering off Brighton, but they came back and they beat Villa. And, you know, Lopetegui is not a bad manager, and he's done well with Wolves. I can see this being a tough game for Man United, and Diego Costa's starting to look good for Wolves. I know he's 35, but he's showing his class still. I think I'm going to go for a Wolves win on this one. And it's not because I want Man United to get beat. It's just because of Newcastle, you know. I can see Wolves sneaking this one 2-1. De Gea's not playing well in goal. We know how years in concentration. I mean, against West Ham, he should have stopped that. West Ham should have had a penalty as well. So
yeah, absolutely, they should have.
So I'm going to say 2-1 to Wolves. KLW says Wolves will make a cheap suit.
It'd be interesting to see how they cope with the pressure of Liverpool only being a point behind them.
Yeah. David says 2-1 Wolves.
I hope so.
As well. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Roly, I come to you now. So the next game, Roly, and this is a game that I think you're going to enjoy having your say on this one, because obviously you're first up for this one, so you're under the cosh, yeah. There's a team that really need to win this game, or they're screwed. Southampton versus Fulham. That's St Mary's.
That's to be honest, I don't think it matters where they play this game. Fulham are going to win. I think Southampton will be officially relegated on Saturday. They were shocking defensively against Forest. And Fulham are a much better side than Forest. They've just come from going to the King Power and putting Leicester to the sword. They'll do the same to Southampton. I can't see anything other than a convincing Fulham win.
Fulham are at home on Monday.
I think Mitrovic is back for this one.
Was Craven Cottage on Monday?
Was it Craven Cottage? Oh,
Yes, it was. Yeah. They
Oh,
were at
no,
home. Yeah.
my mistake, my bad.
Sorry,
But
Rory. Sorry.
they put them to the sword anyway. And
Yeah.
Leicester were lucky that Fulham only scored 5. And I believe Mitrovic is back from his suspension now.
I believe
Oh,
he
is he?
is.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be conservative on this one and say that it's going to be Southampton 0, Fulham 4.
Oh,
I think that once they go one down, they're just going to fall apart. They know they're down. They played like they were down against Forest, even though they had a chance to actually give themselves some hope. I see no hope against Fulham. I think Fulham will tear them apart.
Okay. Rich says Liverpool's on the tail of Man United. They are, absolutely.
Yeah.
2-0 Southampton, says Coffee. Oh, okay, Coffee. That's interesting. 2-0 Fulham. They are down, says Ian. Absolutely, Ian. Rich says 3-0 Fulham. Yeah. Bia says Southampton's last hurrah, 2-1, but relegated anyway. Fulham to win, says Lee. Yeah, absolutely. Fulham to win 2-0 away, says Sefton. Yeah. Southampton 3, Fulham 2, says Yabba Dabba Doo. Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Fulham to win 3-0 all day, says Wayne. And Rich says 5-0 Fulham, correction score. Oh, okay then, Rich, you're going for 5-0 then, mate. Okay, well said, mate. Well said. I mean, Pete, yeah, so Southampton versus Fulham at St Mary's. Is it going to be a packed St Mary's, or is it going to be like a library? Is it going to be very, very quiet there? Or is it going to be like the House of Commons where they're all shouting at each other? So anyway, Pete, what is your thoughts on this game on Saturday and the score?
One winner in there for me, and it's certainly not the home team, I can tell you that. If Mitrovic is back and he starts for them, all I can say is God help. I think Southampton are going to need all the help they can get. I mean, they're completely screwed, in my opinion. They've got to win all 3 games to try and stay up now, and it's just not going to happen for them now, unfortunately. It just really isn't. I mean, you get 4 goals past you against Forest. What does that tell you? As well, so, and there's no hope for them at all now, unfortunately. That is the thing. And it's just a matter of time before relegation is confirmed for them. I think I'm going to say this is going to be a 3-0 win to Fulham.
I have to agree, Peter. I have to agree with you. I mean, yeah, this. I don't think Southampton get anywhere near a win in this game. It's curtains for them, unfortunately, on Saturday, and possibly might help them if they are relegated on Saturday, because it'll take a lot of weight off their shoulders, because they'll know then that they're not having to try and up that game to perform. Obviously, it'll be James Ward-Prowse's last swan song as well, because he probably won't be at Southampton next season. Yeah, I say, well, not be only James Ward-Prowse, but there could quite a few players be gone from there. I would take Lavia in all honesty. I'm going to say Fulham will win this game hands down, and I'm going 4-0 Fulham.
Oh.
I think they'll hammer them.
Badly agree.
KLW says Fulham easy. Mitrovic will have a brace. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Pete, so I come to you next. So now we're going into the Sunday games, and there's a few of them on 2 p.m. kickoffs. So the first one you've got is Brentford versus West Ham.
Wow, this is going to be an interesting one, actually. I've got to admit. So, West Ham, they're safe. I think Brentford are just fighting for a top 10 finish now. That is the thing. So, as I mentioned, West Ham have been very, very good. Deserved the win against Man United, I thought. I thought Brentford were very unlucky. I thought they gave it a go against Liverpool. Shame VAR chalked their goal off, which was the right decision. This could be an end-to-end game, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is going to finish 1 apiece.
1 apiece. Wow, that's a good shout, Pete. That's a good shout. Yabba says 3-1 to Brentford against West Ham. Interesting. Roly, what's your thoughts on Brentford West Ham at the G-Tech Community Stadium on Sunday at 2 p.m. kickoff?
It's going to be an interesting game because you've got 2 good sides there. Brentford have been tremendous at the community stadium. Very hard to beat. West Ham have just come into some form. Declan Rice has been superb. Basically, it seems like we kick-started West Ham season for them.
Yeah.
But Brentford, I think Brentford are a very good side, especially at home. I think it'll be very close. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brentford win.
Yeah, I can see that as well, Roly. I mean, I look at that game and I think it's at Brentford, so it's a home game. It's a tough place to go. We went there. We know how tough it is. Ivan Toney's on fire. He's probably wanting to get as many goals as he can before he gets a ban. So I'm going to say Brentford win this game. But I'm going to say 3-1 Brentford. I can see it being I can see Brentford going all out and I can see them going 2-0 up, West Ham pull one back, and then Brentford will score a third. I can see that happening. So I'm going to say 3-1 to Brentford, and I'm just going to crack into some comments. Yabba says Brentford 3, West Ham 1 as well. Brentford 3-1 says Paul, going the same as me. 2-2 says Coffee. Wayne says 3-2 to Brentford. West Ham win says Lee. Ian's also like Wayne, 3-2 against for Brentford. Sefton says it's a draw for me. KLW says another good game, going to be tight. Brentford to nick it, because Brentford still got a chance of European places. 1-1 says Chris W. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, could be, couldn't it? So you could be right on that one. Yeah. Right, so the next game, this comes to you now, Roly. You're going to love this one. This is live on Sky Sports on Sunday, and it's Everton versus Manchester City at Goodison Park. Take it away, Roly.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to apologise to Rich on the chat, and I'll try and keep it civil because Everton, they're not one of my favourite clubs by a long shot. They come just above Sunderland and Manchester United in my favourite club, so I'm hoping they lose. They'll be buoyed by their win, their thumping of Brighton on Monday. I never saw that coming. I mean, they scored a fifth of the goals they scored in the rest of the season in one game. I didn't see it coming at all. They've got some belief back into they'll have some belief back into the squad and into the crowd, because I thought they're going to get beaten by Brighton. If they had done, I think they would have been down. They're going to have a go at Manchester City. Manchester City have just been to Real Madrid, a really tough game. I thought they were unlucky to come out with just a 1-1 draw, because particularly in the first half, if it wasn't for Courtois in goal, City could have had a couple in the first half before Real got theirs. Second half was much tougher for them. But they've got the squad to rotate. But they've still, the title's not secure. They've still got Arsenal snapping at their heels. They're not going to make a mistake in this run-in, because it's not what they do. I think it's probably going to be closer than I want it to be.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester City.
2-0.
Yeah, I hope they score more. Apologies to Richo in the chat. I would love it if Everton went down, but I don't think they're going to, unless they get a points deduction this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I really want them to get beaten. As I said, my apologies to Rich in the chat, but
No, I'm sure he's absolutely fine with that, Roly. I'm sure he's fine.
just to
Paul
let you know,
Gardner says City to win 5-1.
and just to let them know, I live on Merseyside, so I see him first hand as well. So
Yeah.
I just don't. No, yeah.
So Paul's saying 5-1 to City. Man City win, says Lee. Yabba says City will win 8-0. And Septon says Everton won 1-1, but I hope City win. Ian says 4-0 City. Coffee says 2-2 City. We're getting a sensible prediction from Coffee. Wayne says City 5-0. Holland the Beast gets a hat-trick.
He couldn't score against Leeds.
He couldn't, could he? KLW says Man City to put Everton back in danger 4-0 at least. And Rich is going for a 1-1.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Pete, on Everton Man City?
I think there'll be one winner in this as well. I mean, I think City will rotate, but they've got the squad to do it. And that's why I think they'll win this game. The Everton, they've given themselves a bit of breathing space. Of course, they beat Brighton, and I think they were the better team against Leicester as well, down at the King Power as well. So, yeah. So, it's going to be an interesting game, this, because I think both sides will be up for this. Man City's still going for the league title as well. Everton, again, will want the points to make sure to get safety.
Yeah.
Well, I think City are going to win this one, and I'm going to say 3-1 to City.
3-1. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Chris is saying the same, 3-1 City. Harry? Hey, Harry, evening, not seen you for a while. Where you been hiding, mate, by the way? Evening all. And he says 4-0 City, says Harry. And Rich says, we'll play the same side again that we played at Brighton. So, yeah. I mean, Man City's going to be up for this game, though, aren't they? Because they want to win the league. How does T-Rex stop Haaland, says Coffee?
Well, that's the thing, because he couldn't score against Leeds. How many chances he blundered?
He couldn't, could he? Oh. And he gave the penalty to bloody Gundogan, who can't score a penalty. He's hopeless on penalties, isn't he? And Guardiola weren't happy about that either. He wants you to put sentiment aside and just take the penalty like you're supposed to. But yeah, this game, I mean, last season, I think they went down there and only won 1-0 City. So it's a tough place to go to, Everton, because when that crowd and that Gladys Street stand gets behind them, you know, the good old Gladys Street end, they can make it opposing, intimidating for these opposing sides. But I think Man City's got too much class to lose that game. So I think City's going to go there and win this game, and I think they're going to win it comfortably. I'm going to say 3-1 to City.
I mean, the thing about City is they played in the big atmospheres. They just played at Real Madrid. You can't get a much more intimidating place than Real Madrid. So the crowd is not going to be a factor. And they'll just put, I watched the game last night, and the way that Real Madrid were pressing them at the back, and they just calmly played their way through it.
Yeah.
They'll take the crowd out of it, and they could do similar to what we did once they take the lead. The thing with Everton at the moment, right? They've got great results at the week on Monday with the win and the style of the win at Brighton, but we all know when you're in the bottom, that confidence you get from a win like that is very fragile.
Yeah.
And it just takes a bad result or or giving away a bad goal even in a game that you're still in, and the confidence can just drain from the players. And that's the problem they've got in this running. Right, they're out of the bottom three now, but they've still got to keep picking up the points to stay out. And if, let's say, Man City rock up at Goodison and give them a thumping, all the good work they've done in the last few games, it's not all for now, because they're probably still going to be outside the bottom three after the game. But it definitely be squeaky bum time.
Yeah, I mean, Coffee says it's Goodison more intimidating than Burnabout. Do you think, Peter? Or?
Oh, probably not, I would say.
No.
Not a chance.
Harry says Haaland missed a few big chances against Leeds last Saturday, so will be eager to put his wrongs right by scoring once or more versus Everton. Absolutely. Sefton. Off with saying, all great show. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. How are you, the lads? Yeah, thanks very much indeed, Sefton. Yes, if you haven't hit that, if you are new to the channel, then please hit that subscribe. That'll be great. Thank you very much. Right, Pete. So we're going to come to the next game.
Yeah.
And this is the final game on Sunday. And this is a big game. It is Arsenal versus Brighton and Hove Albion.
Absolutely.
Give us your thoughts on this, Pete, and your score prediction.
Absolutely. Well, just I'll let you know, Inter Milan are 2-0 up against AC Milan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was two former Premier League players that have scored for Inter Milan.
Lukaku, one of them?
Nope. Edin Dzeko.
Dzeko, yeah.
Edin Dzeko and Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Oh.
Because
couldn't cut it in Arsenal.
Yeah, Lukaku's on the bench.
Is he?
Yeah.
In terms of this game, Arsenal v Brighton. This will be a very interesting game, I must admit. So, of course, Arsenal will want to keep that going now to make sure they're still within this title race after beating us at the weekend. Of course, Brighton will want to bounce back after that humiliating 5-1 defeat against Everton. I think Brighton will give it a go, but with Arsenal being at home, and Arsenal being really, really good at home so far this season, as well, where they don't normally fluff the lines. Maybe on a couple of occasions they have, but I could see definitely Arsenal winning this. So far, I mean, they've got some real firepower up front. They really, really have.
Yeah.
Odegaard, in particular, Jesus, even though he may not score a lot, but he's got the work rate.
Yeah.
Definitely as well. I thought Saka did well against us at times as well. So, and the midfield, particularly outbossed our midfield at the weekend. And I just think they'll just have too much for Brighton. But I think Brighton will give this a go, as I mentioned. And I'm going to say it's a 3-1 win to Arsenal.
Okay, then, Pete. I'll just jump into some comments and I get Roly's thoughts. Yama says, Everton are a good side, just hate the bar stewards. Rich says, when more settled with Mina at the back, I must admit, on Monday, Mina did have a great game for you. I mean, he did look the rock at the back, to be fair. Coffee says, AC Milan without Leao as well. Yeah. Chris says, 3-2 or 2-1 Arsenal. Interesting one. Rich says, 3-2 to Brighton. Because I want to put that right, won't they? Bottle Jobs 0, Brighton 4, says Yabba Dabba Do. Paul says Arsenal to win 2-1. Yeah. Wayne says 3-1 Arsenal. I like Coffee says 4-4 with Brighton.
That'd be a cracking game.
Yeah, wouldn't it just? Ian says 2-1 Gunners. Lee says Arsenal win. And KLW says Arsenal will bottle it a bit, a 2-2 draw. Okay, Roly, your thoughts and comment prediction, please.
I think it'll be an interesting game. I think at home Arsenal are very strong. Hopefully they'll rattle Brighton and Casado and Dunk will get sent off so they can't play against us. All joking aside. I think Arsenal got the bit between their teeth, but don't want to make it easy for Man City. I think they'll approach the game a bit like they did against us after they had that break for the VAR penalty decision where they got themselves together and started playing.
Yeah.
They're not as clinical in front of goal as they could be. Or is that because Nick Pope played so well? Ramsdale has got a mistake in him. Unfortunately, didn't make one on Sunday. I think Arsenal are going to win this one. I think they're actually going to win it quite convincingly because Brighton have got so many games to play. They play, obviously, they play midweek. They're playing Sunday, then they're playing us on Wednesday, I think it is. Then they've got another game on the Saturday. I think their squad's going to feel the strain, and I think it's going to be 3-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, Brighton's got to come back somehow. They've got to show determination to come back in this game after a 5-1 drubbing. It looks like it could be without Solly March, who went off with what looked like a hamstring injury on Monday evening. So that didn't look good for him. Some players did underperform on Monday, so they'll want to put that right, like Simitoma.
He was very poor.
So I can see Brighton make the fist of this game. And I'm going to say Arsenal win it 3-2. It's going to be close.
I just can't see Arsenal letting Brighton get into the game, especially at the Emirates.
No, absolutely. Right, so obviously that was the Sunday. So now we've moved to Monday evening. And now this falls back to Roly. And so we now are going to the King Power Stadium, 8 p.m, for a kickoff. And it's another relegation team against a team chasing Champions League. And it is Leicester City versus Liverpool. Roly, what is your thoughts on this game?
Oh, there's only one team that's going to win this game.
Leicester?
Terrific players, midfielders. They've got goals up front. So obviously Leicester are going to win it 4-0 in my dreams. I wish that I really do want Leicester to get something out of this, but I can't see it. And unfortunately, I can see Liverpool taking a big chunk out of our goal difference. The way Leicester defended against Fulham, it is possible that Liverpool we're 7 goals ahead of Liverpool on goal difference.
Yeah, we are, yeah. That depends how many we win by on Saturday if we win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They could take it. I mean, the way Leicester defended, I could see Liverpool getting 5 or 6 against them. I really can. Leicester are just so bad at the back. I hate to say it, I think they could get 5 or 6 against them.
Yeah.
They are that bad. I think they're down. You look at the way they're playing and their body language at Fulham. They're playing like a team that's down.
Yeah.
And they could be in for a hiding against Liverpool, who hit a bit of form. Like they had a bit of luck against Fulham. They got a penalty that shouldn't have been. But I really can't see Leicester doing anything against Liverpool.
And what scoreline are you going for, Roly?
I'll go 4-0.
4-0.
It could be more. It could be a lot more.
Yeah, you could be right. Before I get to Pete, Leicester will win 3-2, says Paul.
All right.
Yeah, 3-1 Liverpool, says Ian. Coffee says Klopp trying to know his way at the top 4. Liverpool will win, says Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool to win 5-0, says Coffee. Wayne says it'll be a 2-2 draw. And Yaba says Leicester to beat Liverpool 5-0.
Oh.
That may be on FIFA 23, by the way, Yaba, but certainly not on the football field.
FIFA 23 when you're really good and you put them on and you're playing on easy mode.
Yeah. Pete, Leicester versus Liverpool. What's your thoughts on that game?
think there's one winner in this as well, and again, it's not going to be the home team for me. Leicester are abysmal at the back at the moment. 5 goals down at Craven Cottage to concede. Madison looks fed up. I think he really wants out of there now. I don't think they're all over the place. Their attacking wise has just been off a little bit at times. I don't think Vardy's got the legs anymore. I don't think that Daka's very good.
No, Patson Daka, no.
No. Yeah, I think I'll worry for Leicester in this game, and this could really, if they lose this, they're well in trouble as well. So I can see this being a 3-0 win for Liverpool.
Yeah, you could well be right there, Pete. You could be. Klopp uses his teeth as mannequins during soccer practice, says Coffee. Right, Coffee, you've just let yourself down there, mate. It's not soccer, it's football.
Yay!
But we'll let you off. Yeah, I see a shite, you got me there. But, right, so I think this will be a tough game for Leicester. Leicester are, a team doomed to be, in all honesty. I think they're championship bound now. You look at Leicester's last 3 fixtures, they've got Liverpool home, away to us, and then West Ham at home on the last day of the season, which ain't going to be easy. And you think, where are Leicester going to get points to get out of the relegation zone? I think they're done now. I think Leeds are done now, in all honesty. I really do. I think Everton stay up by the skin of their teeth again, like they did last year. But this game, there's only one winner. It's Liverpool all over. This game couldn't come at a better time for Liverpool. Yes, it was a hard game against Brentford. Brentford were unlucky, could have got a draw out of that game. But I think Liverpool will have too much for a Leicester City side. With a defender called Wout Faes, who was just a shit Colaccini.
Oh, God, he's awful. He's terrible.
He's got the hair like, you may think he's got the hair like Colaccini, but he's certainly never as good as Colaccini. He wouldn't even beat Lacey's boots. I see Liverpool running riot in this game, and I see them winning 4-0. Yeah, I can't see any other way around it. This has got 4-0 written all over it. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to go for, 4-0 Liverpool. But it's going to be an interesting weekend, and we kickstart it all off, and Liverpool finish it. Isn't that ironic? We start the weekend off, Liverpool end it. Hey, it's just great the way things work. But yeah, I can see Liverpool winning this hands down. I mean, guys, we're coming towards the end of the show. Oh, hang on. KLW has said the vicar out of Dick Henry is Klopp's secret father.
No.
Coffee says they needed a more to practice of free kicks. And he says 4-0 Pool as well. Brilliant, KLW. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so come to the end of the show, guys and girls. But I mean, it's been a cracking show. We've done Premier League predictions. It's the first time I've actually done this on my channel, so there we go. It's a new thing. Now, I'm going to ask you in the chat. Do you think I should do this every Wednesday, maybe? Obviously, it might not be next. Well, yeah, it could be next Wednesday. But should I do this every Wednesday, guys and girls in the chat? Let me know. Do you think it's a thing that would take off more? Obviously, I know we're coming to the end of the season, but, ahead of next season, I can do it as well. If you think I should bring this as a brand new feature at this channel, then please get your comments in and let me know, because that would be absolutely brilliant if you did. Mm-hmm. If you do enjoy it, then I'll bring it back every week. At the end of the day, you guys who come and watch, we put on the show for you guys, and at the end of the day, it's great to have feedback from the viewers as well of what they enjoy. I know you enjoy the transfer shows we do, and you enjoyed the buy, keep and sell we've had a couple of times, and anything that can improve on the channel, all feedback is welcome.
Mhm.
You can DM me, whatever. Just but if you're enjoying this show, Premier League predictions, I'll certainly bring it back on a weekly basis till the end of the season, and then we'll do it again next season as well. I'll just go through some comments first of all before I go around the tables. Liverpool have a happy ending, says Yabba Dabba Do.
Mm.
Lisa, it's been fantastic tonight, lads. Thank you very much indeed. We're not gone yet, by the way, so don't jump off yet, guys. Andrew says good stuff. Thank you very much. Yava says dirty bastards. Coffee says guaranteed goal scorer for our game, Anthony Gordon. Andrew says yes to the prediction show. Thank you very much, Andrew. And Yaba says yes, be good. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, so as I say, guys, get your comments in, let me know. Ian says, yes, be great to do it, even if all my predictions never come true. You never know, Ian. You never know. Bud says Ian, Ian as well. Thank you very much indeed. So it looks like it's a popular show. So yes, this show will be back next week as well. And so keep an eye out for that. So I'm going to come around the table as I usually do. So Roly, I'll take that banner off. Would you like to let the viewers know where they can find you? The voice of reason.
I'm on Twitter at Pole67.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed, Roly. And Pete, do you want to let people know where they can find you? And more importantly, Pete, what have you got coming up as well? Because we all want to know. Because last week, you're a naughty boy, by the way.
Oh, go on then.
Because you did not bring the football show on. Where was that last week?
Yeah, because I had other things on, unfortunately. So there you are.
We'll let you off.
Aye, so that was it. So I had other things on, unfortunately, and I did put on Twitter saying I'll be back this week. So there you are. Okay, then. So you can find me on my channel, PD Proudlock. So feel free to check me out and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with a preview for the Leeds game. The Friday night we'll be back with my crazy show. Saturday will be the live watch along, and either on the same day or if not the Sunday, it'll be the match review and the player rating show.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks very much indeed, Pete. I'll just go through some comments and then Rich says, cheers, guys. Cheers. Thanks very much, Rich. Defo, great show, says KLW. Thank you very much indeed, mate. That's much appreciated. Coffee says, bye, Tony, Roly, PD, and all got to go early. No problem, mate. See you later. Yabba says, Rich, I hope everything go plummet down. Another great show, guys. Well done, Tony, Roly, and Pete, says Ian. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. Say hi to Sunday for me. Says Yabba Tava too. I mean, yeah. I mean, guys, if you do like what you see, then please do smash the like. If you haven't already, then smash it on your way out. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so. Help the channel grow. The bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. You can find me down there at TonyTony31 on Twitter and the same on Twitch. Also, if you go to Facebook, I have a page called It's All Black and White TV. As the channel says, if you join that group, I will add you on. I've got to go and add Jack on because he's asked to join the group. So if you want to join in there, then please do so. That'd be great. Coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m, I have the match preview. Roly is going to join me, and I'm going to be joined by Leeds fan Cody, and we're going to ask her all about her season, how she's found Leeds this season, which I think is going to be pretty shit, to be fair, what she's going to say, which she already said to me in the DM. But yeah, so she will be joining us tomorrow night for the match preview. Friday, we'll be back with a press conference reaction, see what Eddie's had to say ahead of the game against Leeds at Ellen Road, and see if he says anything about Fat Sam. Saturday, 11 a.m. Yes, it's an early one, 11 a.m. because we've got an early kickoff. The pre-match show will be on at 11 a.m. so we will be there with the team news for you as it arrives, and so please join for that. And there may be a reaction show, so keep an eye out for that one. But all in all, lots of good stuff coming up on the channel, so make sure you've hit that bell, and that will make sure you're notified. Rich says, Jabba, I hope not. Jabba says, just banter, Rich. Still going down. Great show, lad, says Wayne. Thank you very much indeed, Wayne. And Bye Lad says, yeah, bye-bye to you as well, yeah. Yeah, it's been a cracking show tonight, guys and girls. And do you know what? It's great. This channel's just getting better and better all the time. And, you know, as Yazoo and the Plastic Population sang, the only way is up. And that's the way I want to be, up. But until then, guys, remember, the future's bright, the future's black and white. And it's a bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye from me.
Me.
And it's how are you, lads?